some people say that global warming is caused by human activity and that it's but other people say that it's not a problem at all. And they sort of cover both sides, like the media's, it's a fair and accurate sort of thing. We cover both sides. But in a case like global warming, there isn't
it's just the one
controversy.
Side, right?
The other side is a minority, and they're just wrong. And the media should not be able. But in China, I don't think you have that problem. People, the media tends to try to report the scientific consensus, and that's what they should do.
But some people are talking loudly enough. Okay, David, you cannot get enough of global warming issues. So, in your opinion, what are the best ways to improve public science literacy?
It starts with kids, right? By the time people are adults, it's a little bit too late. So I think you do have to make it.
Is it?
Well,
you're making me feel sad.
Actually, David, you're emphasizing parents' role, right?
That's right.
But I have a priority list. Because our parents, the majority, is not really scientifically literate. That literate.
Don't say that. My mom is listening. Don't say that.
No. I am self-criticizing myself. Okay. I'm not literate enough. But so that's why the motivation should come from the government. I think the government can, from top down. Remember how China's mechanism works. If the government takes it seriously, it's going to really make a huge difference. And then comes to the parents, and then schools, and then the society, the general society. So these four, parties, if they get really, collectively involved, I think the literacy will soon be improved from 8-point-something to something.
And if your mother's listening, Wu Yo is a wonderful young lady. She's very scientific literate.
Okay,
And she's very smart, and she's a very good host.
Indeed.
You should be proud. That's my message to her mother.
Don't spank her.
Well, David, I'm always proud of your frankness. Okay, let's turn to the fourth topic, which is also a delicious topic. Recently, New York Fashion Week's annual collection had a surprising addition this season: Chinese Lao Ganma hoodies. Portrait of Tao Huabi, the founder of Lao Ganma, which means the old godmother, were plastered on hoodies sold at fashion retailer opening ceremony's Broadway store. So this Lao Ganma is a Chinese famous chili sauce brand, and the event was part of the Fashion Week's China Day promotion. The item, the hoodies, is being sold in the U.S. New York Fashion Week for $120. Okay, first of all, what is your assessment of the story? Does it surprise you? Do you find the hoodies fashionable?
It's good. I find this piece of news amazing. I actually didn't realize that Lao Ganma has gone that far. I mean, we grew up, with it. I'm not a person who's very much into spicy food, but still, if you open my refrigerator, there will be some bottles of Lao Ganma, different flavors inside. Because in case you don't have appetite, in case you need something spicy, it's so convenient for you just to add something to whatever you want: noodle, rice, food, stir fries, or things like that. So I realized, another thing I realized from this piece of news is that people really love things that can make their life better. So it's a lesson. It's such a huge, precious lesson for all the businesses, that if you want to make money, if you want to produce something, go for something you would use yourself,
right?
And serve your own life, and treat your customers as the way you treat your family members, treat yourself, so you can to be successful.
When you mentioned about the business, actually, Tao Huabi, the founder of Lao Ganma, she once said that she will never go public.
Oh, really?
She will never go public.
That's why I saw her face, but I never remember her name.
Now you remembered.
I still cannot, because
so
it's
very important. The reason she wants to keep the original recipe and everything.
She doesn't have this big ego.
Yeah.
She's just sharing her old grandma recipe,
but she's
very local,
determined.
Authentic.
She's very
with
determined.
others. Yes, she's very
good for her.
Exactly. David, have you ever tasted Lao Ganma? Do you like it?
Are you kidding? Come on, I've been in China for 30 years. I love it. I put it on everything. I like all these different kinds of sauces, and
some with meat, right? Some them with
everything.
Yeah.
And there's some restaurant chains. I won't name the names because I don't want to give an advertisement. But they're these Sichuan type restaurants, and they're now selling their special. Their own special Sichuan chili sauces. And believe me, I collect those. I mean, my daughter and I, we go there, and he's like, oh, can we buy some of these things, take them home?
It's a threat to Logamai, right?
As you said,
somebody else.
No, let 100 flowers bloom. So you're right. You put it on any kinds of food, and it makes it better. I love it.
Well, a lot of people will say I'm a collector of Chinese vase, but you're a collector of chili
Chinese
sauce.
Chili sauce. Yeah.
Okay, good for you. Well, is it very popular in the U.S. and why is that? Do you find it commonly seen in the U.S. supermarket?
Here's the thing about the U.S., and I'm very, very happy about this trend.
Variety.
It took a long time, but Americans are beginning to understand Asian cuisine.
How do they understand it?
Well, they used to think there was this thing, you go to a Chinese restaurant, and the laoban, the boss, would be Chinese, and they would give you this stuff, you would buy something, and you say, this does not taste right, and they said, well, it's American style. The Americans can't eat hot food, they can't eat this, they're not interested in jiaozi and everything. But now I go to Portland, I go to New York, I go to San Francisco, there are some really, really good Chinese restaurants, or Thai and Vietnamese restaurants, and Americans are beginning to appreciate it. So here's the thing that Americans are getting hip to. I think it'll eventually end up in supermarkets. But in any big city like New York, especially if there's a Chinatown, they have Oriental groceries. And you can walk into an Oriental grocery. I was just in one in South Africa, in Pretoria. And I could get xiao bai tu, the candy. I could get lao gamma. I could get da bai tu, the candy. I could get the lao gamma. I could get any kinds of Sichuan spices and stuff like that. I could get frozen jiaozi and baozi and everything that you want from China.
Wow.
Is in this, and Americans are beginning to realize, that's pretty good. Even some Americans and Chinese are actually now opening up jianbing stands in campuses and things. You can actually get so it's a slow trend, but Americans are starting to get a taste for real Chinese food.
Wow.
Which means I can go back there someday and live a happy, fulfilling life.
That sounds like heaven for chili sauce collectors.
We actually need to attribute to China's opening up and reform.
Yeah.
People are bringing these things out to your country, and you guys are coming into China, And then I want to describe, if we call Lao Gamma, I use two words. One is omnipresent and ubiquitous in Chinatown. You definitely go. You can get them in Chinatowns, in the big cities, London, New York and San Francisco, these things. So it's also due to Chinese immigrants, the early ones and the present ones, and also Chinatowns everywhere. So it's actually a very good sign of merging. Don't you think so? Fusion. Not merging. Fusion. Different cultures, different tastes.
What's good is good.
Yes.
And if it's good, someone will discover it.
So Lao Gamma is one.
Lao Gamma is good.
Yes,
right?
I'm glad to hear it. So, what are the other brands that is well received in the U.S.? What are the other Chinese brands?
Right? There's washing machine.
I mean, food.
Huawei.
Yeah, the brands are not that famous. Although I hear that they're opening up some Chinese restaurant chains. What's the ones they've opened up there already?
Haidilao.
Haidilao. Yes.
Chinese food as a collective image is very popular, actually, in Chinatown, but not the brand, the certain brand
not yet.
not yet.
That's a problem. Some smart Chinese business person should figure that out, and they should start marketing their brand. I mean, look at Starbucks. Nobody liked coffee when it first appeared in China, but they branded it.
Yeah, indeed.
So you could set up, why not Haidilao can become like, Olive Garden or whatever it's called in the U.S. Make a chain out of it.
I found out one very old brand name of the Shanghai, Meiling Guantao, the canned food, pickles and then fish, everything. But I just wonder why Lao Gamma beat Meiling. That Meiling is decades and decades old. It's actually very popular in the 20s, 30s in the old Shanghai.
Yeah. It's a matter of time, but I'm just afraid that some Westerner is going to jump the gun or, jump on the Chinese and start marketing. And I mean, that's Chinese invention, soft power. They should figure out a way to make. I'll just add one more thing, and it's like many people have told me, tea.
Chinese. But Yuki has beat us.
No. See, the thing is, the Westerns don't get they don't understand tea.
Uh-huh.
They don't understand what's good about it. It's like they didn't understand wine, and now they do, right?
The tea culture.
The tea culture. The Chinese have...
The Japanese is better in tea culture than
right.
us. All the
Chinese,
ceremonial thing, ritual thing.
Some smart Chinese need to figure out how to market real tea and make Americans understand what's subtle and good about it. Americans come here and they say, you give them like pu'er, which is like very... Most Americans say, what? It tastes like muddy water, you know. Well, that's because you don't yet understand it. The first time they tasted wine, it also tasted bitter and everything, you know. So you better hurry up, because some American is going to catch on to that and it's going to start marketing. Look at Lipton tea. It's a British brand, and they sell... they're actually selling Lipton tea in China. That's
and even South
absurd.
African tea, like the Five Roses from South Africa, sells so well. So I think the key is there. I heard you say subtle. I think the Chinese